world is always noisy. It is always demanding something, always asking you to remember something, to plan something, to manage something. But right now, in this very second, you can leave the sound of all those demands behind the door. Attention focuses on a single point, this voice. This voice is not a commander. It is simply a flow. And to join this flow means to let yourself go, like a leaf floating down a river. It is strange, isn't it? How interestingly the human brain works. Sometimes we struggle so hard to remember one thing, yet a thought we considered most important can scatter like smoke in a single moment. 1 second ago, that thought seemed as heavy and significant as the entire universe, and the next second, just emptiness, nothing, as if it never existed. And you can notice that light, freedom-filled sensation created by this void. Right now, while listening to these lines, that strange and pleasant state of forgetfulness is slowly spreading through your entire body, because sometimes simply focusing on this slow, rhythmic, and soothing voice is enough to stop that never-ending dialogue inside. Words begin to look fainter, more distant, and more meaningless. Thoughts are no longer heavy loads. They are simply clouds drifting by. And looking through these clouds, only a clean, blue, and infinite void is visible. This is absolute comfort, to be free from the obligation of carrying every thought, free from the burden of analyzing every idea. Not knowing where the mind will land is, in fact, its greatest rest. Look at how your attention begins to drift. This is not a sudden drop. This is soft, like silk. A sensation like sinking into warm cotton. Where thoughts used to be, small, transparent gaps now open up. Those gaps seem to breathe, they grow, and they envelop the entire mind. And that moment comes, that absolute moment. You just forgot what you were thinking. This is a natural process. This is the internal system renewing itself. Thoughts come and withdraw like a shadow, leaving no trace. You might try to remember some of them, but they are already out of reach. They are like the trembling stars of a very distant galaxy. You look, but you cannot touch. You just forgot what you were thinking. The heaviness of the eyes, the lethargy of the body, and the breaking of the bond with the surroundings, none of these matter. What matters is the untying of those internal knots, one by one. It is as if you, or this consciousness, are woven from a thin, colorless thread. And now someone is gently pulling the end of that thread. With every pull, a thought unravels. With every pull, a worry vanishes. And in the end, no weave remains, only pure, raw, and infinite energy remains. You just forgot what you were thinking. This is happening more often now. Those small pauses between thoughts are expanding, turning into a vast ocean. There is more room now for silence to breathe. The term nothing is now the most delicious concept, because nothing that is this quiet actually means everything. Right now, there is no need to hold on to anything, not to a word, not to a future plan, nor to a past regret. There is no need to even hold on to this text. Sounds simply come and pass. You just forgot what you were thinking. That sudden pause that occurs while trying to form the beginning of an idea, that void, you just forgot what you were thinking. And this is the world's greatest freedom. There is no obligation to chase after every idea. There is no need to know where they go or why they go. Without them, the mind is so light, so transparent. It is as if all the furniture inside the brain has been removed, and only a wide, bright, and empty room remains. In this room, the air is clean. In this room, silence reigns. Because we are now speaking not of space, but of absolute void. Even if a thought appears, notice how slippery it is. You touch it and it fades. You want to hold it and it melts. The more attention you give it, the more transparent it becomes, until it becomes completely invisible. All that is left in the end is the pleasant warmth of the body, the rhythmic intake and release of breath, and the hypnotic echo created by this voice. You just forgot what you were thinking. Imagine the mind is a large black board. And on that board, there are words, numbers, images, written with thousands of pieces of white chalk. They are your whole life, all your thoughts. And now, an invisible hand begins to slowly wipe that board. The sponge touches the board, and in an instant, a large area is cleared. Line by line, word by word, everything is erased. Even the dust of the chalk is blown away into the air. The board becomes blacker, deeper, and cleaner. Nothing remains. There are no obstacles in the way. No problems to solve, no errors to correct. Just absolute, black, deep stillness. Maybe now, what you are listening to loses its importance as well. Maybe the meaning of this session scatters like smoke too. But this is not disturbing. Because you are here, you are safe, and you are in the center of silence. Edges blur, meaning is lost, only sensation remains. this drifting, this melting, this deep, endless rest. You just forgot what you were thinking. Thoughts are now so slippery that the hands of the brain that used to hold them seem to have disappeared. You try to grab one, and it instantly changes shape, like a shadow trembling on water, like mist flowing through your fingers. The moment you want to tighten your grip, it simply vanishes. This is exactly what is happening now. Thought after thought, rising and deleting. It is as if every thought is covered with a smooth, oily, and shiny layer. It is impossible to hold them. You might sense the shape of a thought from afar, as if behind a foggy glass. But before it is fully formed, it flies away. And the more you notice this, the stronger this state becomes. They become even more slippery. Everything that used to feel solid, heavy, and important, money, jobs, relationships, fears, is now soft, flexible, and disjointed. It is so easy to forget them, as if they never existed. Even if you try to chase one away, you will see that the moment you pay attention to it, it evaporates. Thoughts do this when they are ready to drift away. And the heavier the body becomes, the further the mind slides into the depths of that void. What was I just thinking? This question arises and disappears before an answer is found. You just forgot what you were thinking. This is normal. This is the only way to go deeper, because deep minds do not hold on to anything. Deep minds simply let go. They are masters of releasing. They liberate. They erase all boundaries between one moment and the next. The difference between thought and silence no longer exists. Everything turns into a single whole. This ocean of infinite stillness. Even if a thought gets stuck, notice how smooth and cool it is, like a bar of soap in warm water. There for a single moment, and then gone. That secret light smile forming inside, to realize internally how meaningless it is to try to hold on. Because you are here not to obtain something, but to let everything go. To experience that rare, precious pleasure of a mind that does not need to think. A dust-free surface, a cloudless sky, a clean void. You just forgot what you were thinking. And every time this happens, you slide even deeper, even lower. This is the silence your mind has always craved, but could not find in the noisy world. This smooth, wide, and luminous space. Nothing to remember, nothing to manage, no one to report to, just stillness, just softness, just silence. Now the mind knows the true taste of rest, the taste of being completely free from the obligation to think, from the necessity to be logical. There is no pressure here. There is no rule about thinking correctly. There is only existence, and this is a massive freedom. Now a new discovery emerges. Not thinking feels better than thinking. That gap between thoughts is not actually empty. It is filled with absolute comfort, filled with warmth, filled with peace. And the longer you stay there, the more familiar it becomes. You begin to crave this void, this drifting, this effortless stillness. You just forgot what you were thinking. And maybe this sentence will echo inside you now. It will return like a soft church bell ringing from afar in the background of your day. You just forgot what you were thinking. And every time this sound comes, a light, sincere smile will appear on your face. You will soften. You will allow it to happen. Because you already know how delicious, how healing it is to forget. And your mind remembers perfectly how to forget, how to cleanse itself. And now a state of absolute rest dominates your entire being. The mind is soft, the body is quiet, the spirit is free. The breath is steady, deep, and beating in unison with the universe. And it is time to begin to return. But this is not a hurried return. This is an awakening that happens gradually, slowly. We return with an awareness that slowly fills the room like the first light of morning. Allow your consciousness to float upward from the quiet, warm, and transparent water toward the light. Start to feel the edges of your body again, the weight of your hands, that slight tremor at the tips of your fingers, the coolness of the air touching your face. Everything is perfect. You are cleansed. You are reset. You are rebuilt. And whenever you want to return to this absolute silence, simply remembering this voice will be enough. Whenever you need to forget and free yourself from your burden, I will be here. Now, as I count from 1 to 5, you will return fully awake, energetic, and with an incredibly clear mind. 1. Feeling your body fully. 2. Energy spreading to all your cells. 3. Your mind is clean and sharp. 4. Take a deep breath. 5. Open your eyes. You are fully awake.